Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zoomer, one rental at a time, back with the one and only Beth Traverso. How you doing, Beth?
Hey, Michael, doing great. Excited to be back. Thank you.
Yes. So you, if people don't know this, you are a top 1% producer in your chosen career in craft. You have graciously joined the one rental at a time family, including the private Facebook group. And to kick it off, we asked the community, hey, what questions you got for Beth? So you ready for a new question?
Absolutely. I love the questions. Keep the questions coming.
Absolutely. And Beth is going to be active. So if you have some questions, just
Yeah.
tag her and
Drop
ask.
some questions down below too. Maybe we'll cover it another time or in the Facebook group.
There you go, every Tuesday.
Mhm.
So this one comes from Nathan. We will just do first names. Two questions. What are you instructing your agents to do in this market? Beth, you obviously run a team. Actually, we'll just do one at a time. So that's question one. What are you telling your agents to do in this market?
Right. So what I'm telling my agents to do in this market. So first of all, is like you got to protect your mindset more than anything else. And that takes I practice it every morning. I get up early and I do a little bit of visualization. I do a little bit of quiet focusing on how I want the day to go, set my intentions. I focus on abundance because there still is abundance out there no matter what's happening in the market. There's a lot of scary stuff. I purposely don't listen to the news. I mean, I'll listen to your morning financial news, but I'm not going to be mainlining CNN or Fox or
No.
whatever those. I don't participate in any of that.
Yeah.
And I found that my mental well-being is much better without that
Yeah.
chatter, the constant. And they know that fear motivates people to watch, which motivates their advertisers to pay more money. So I mean, I'm not going to do that. You can get your news where you want to get it, but then move on and be sure to focus on the abundance out there because there are deals being done. So for my own business, I know as somebody who's highly productive in my marketplace that I did a full year's worth of work in the first 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And so everything's going great. I was like, whoo, this is wonderful.
Woohoo.
And so at that point, it's just a matter of us keeping up with the momentum, which is a fantastic place to be. But then, things change, right? And somebody just slammed on the brakes and went from 100 to like 100 miles an hour to maybe, I don't know, 20 miles an hour
Yeah.
overnight.
Quite a jolt.
That
Yep.
was when the rates spiked and everybody just went, whoa, and everything stopped. People were scared. When people are scared, they don't like to take action. They just got to wait and see what's going to happen. So, and then now in the last 2 weeks, I've had a lot of my listings that were kind of getting more longer market time, going under contract. New buyers are coming back in. People have adjusted. Life goes on. There's always going to be those buyers out there, people that want to live their life regardless. Like, yeah, maybe it would be better to stay financially to stay in this particular smaller house, but we want to move to this out of state to be closer to our grandkids or whatever. Like life goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Pick your story. People have their reasons. They
Mm-hmm.
still want to move. And so, even in the darkest days of the 2008, 9, 10 crash, people were moving. It never went to zero. So that's
Right.
what I want people to realize. Like deals are being done, all over the place every day.
Mm-hmm.
I watch the hot sheet every day and houses are going under contract and selling every single day. So what I'm coaching my agents and also reminding myself to do is just focus on what's working and make
Mm-hmm.
sure our clients understand what's working right now because they need to know they're working with somebody who has been able to wrap their head around the situation and provide meaningful guidance. So that's what we're doing now. So
Yeah.
um
When
yeah
I'm telling, agents and or investors, again, you could take the word agent and insert investor is I'm just trying to remind him. And again, I've done it 2 days in a row at 7 a.m. It's kind of a kick in the pants video about doing the work.
yeah
I think we've been spoiled, right? The last 2 years or so, you would write an offer and it would get accepted, or you would do a flip and you make a lot of money, or you'd stick a sign in the yard and you'd get over asking. It was a fake market.
it was
And I'm reminding people that it takes work, right? I've celebrated two stories. One bought from OfferPad, one bought from Open Door, who are iBuyers who are losing their ass. Both of them wrote multiple offers over the course of 100 days. Both of them got at least a 15% discount. Both locked in somewhere between $70 and $120,000 loss for Open Door. It just takes work, people. Don't drop the basics. Just because I believe transactions will crash 50%, that's still not zero. Some
not
people
zero.
have to sell, like
Mhm.
iBuyers. They have
I
to sell.
wish. those stories make me wish they were in my market. They
Yeah.
aren't, but it's like, oh, it's so much easier for one
Yeah.
thing. It's like, those are easy pickings, people, because that's a corporate entity you're dealing with. They're employees. They're not like the homeowner who's
Yeah.
taking it in the shorts. It's not them
Yeah.
that
They're
have
just
to make
reserved
that.
for bad debt. They want to be done by
Yeah,
the end of the
there's no
quarter.
psychological block around it or anything. All the emotional component gone. It's
No,
just business.
there's some guy or some lady sitting at a computer that has an Excel spreadsheet that says, I guarantee you, somebody at Open Door OfferPad has a spreadsheet and they sort it by days on market. I guarantee you. And they look at the one, this is 139 days on market. They've never seen the property. They don't really probably even care what's there. They're like, that one's got to go away. I am tired of telling my vice president that we still own 123 Main Street.
Yeah, they're getting it from up above that they need to
Get
clear
rid
the
of.
books. Yeah, clear these books, get the money back in the,
This is like buying from banks again. It was awesome.
it is, that's what I was thinking. It's just, this reminds me of banks who just don't care, which is sometimes within the short sale days, it was kind of frustrating, sort of the lack of caring. But ultimately, those were the best deals if you could be patient and hang in there.
All
and
you have
wait.
to do is learn their system.
Yeah.
So we've talked about 2 examples, Beth. Both of them, 100 days was the magic mark. So if that's the magic mark, start fishing at 75.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
That's
all right.
beautiful. That's exciting to me.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I hope people are inspired by that.
So here's question number 2 from Nathan. What is a solid 90-day plan for a new agent? What would you say?
Yeah, so kind of recapping sort of what we talked about in the previous video, but not too much. I would say just like create your business plan. So I would advise Nathan to watch video 1, but then also work on like create your business plan, write it out, think about where your business is going to come from. And we need to pivot in this market. So maybe you might be getting business from different sources than you would have before. One I would suggest is expired and canceled listings, or whatever you call them in your area. Like, we're starting to see some dropping off. I'm getting some sellers calling me now who, like, we tried to sell our house, it didn't work. What do we do now? And so you got to know what to do. So it's like, okay, you go in there almost like a doctor diagnosing, like, okay, this wasn't right, that wasn't right, that wasn't right. Here's what we can do to give it a fresh start, relaunch it, get a successful outcome, and make sure they're aligned too. Like, don't put your time, money, and invest anything into people that aren't realistic about this market and what's happening. Like, unfortunately, every once in a while, I think we all get stuck with something, but you need to be really mindful of that in the beginning to make sure that the expectations are set right and that everything is aligned to be successful, because that's why we're doing this, right? To help people sell their house.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah, what I would tell a new investor, again, because I talk about the whole goal of how to get started one rental at a time, is learning what average is in your buy box. So it's kind of a simple 3-step process. 1, define a buy box, which is permission to look, but also permission to ignore. Most excited real estate investors don't hear the second part. When you have a buy box, you only look at it and you look at nothing else. People often get that wrong. Second, build your network. Kind of back to the point about Alyssa's question. If you're in the real estate business, you should meet 2 new people a day, not 2 people a week. It should be 2 people a day. This like a 90-day plan for a new agent. You should come out of it with 100 new people. Go figure it out. Challenge yourself. Network. Ask for referrals. Then look at your market. Understand. Again, if with the amount of data that's available for a new agent in the first 90 days, Nathan, I would figure out. This is seriously what I would do. I would go figure out in the last 6 months who have been cash buyers in my market. I would get that list. Second, who have been repeat buyers in my market. I would get that list, and then I would try to meet everybody on that list somehow, some way, either virtually.
Creative strategy that I really like. That's not one that I hear very often, but that's a good one. Yeah.
Not just a hat rack. I've done this before. Yeah. So again, folks, it's all about doing the work. Figure out what the work is for you. Do it every freaking day. It's not interest. You're committed. You're the hog, not the chicken, right? Go ahead. Egg versus bacon, if you get the analogy. Yes. You got to do it. If you either you are in this game or you're not. Yeah.
And look at the people who are achieving at the level you want to achieve, and find out what they're doing. And I remember before I was as successful as I would visualize and like internalize, like, I am, like I said, at that time I wanted to do like 50 transactions a year. So I'd say, like, I do 50 transactions a year, and I would visualize what that is. And here's what I do every day. And to the point where it almost becomes like you assume that identity and you take, and it sounds a little woo woo or whatever, but it's
It
actually
works.
really, it's very practical. It helps you get over your mental hurdle where you're like, I'm not that person. Maybe someday I'll be that person. Like, no, I am that person. What does that person do?
Yeah, I mean, this is so powerful. I mean, again, I hear from people in the comments. Yes, folks, I read all of the comments. Some of you come at seller financing like it's illegal or not possible. Well, guess what? For you, it's not possible. I've brought you plenty of examples of seller financing works. Some of you don't think this, you don't think that. You're right. Move on. Go away. I'm tired of it. Stop it. Either you're going to do the work or you're not.
Think about how can it work? It's a powerful question is how. I think that's the most powerful question word you can have. And so for seller financing, for that, just like since that became on my radar, maybe I don't know, a year and a half ago, I've done 3 seller finance deals with excellent terms, and win-win for everybody. I'm very upfront. It has to be a win-win for everyone. They understand what's happening and why it makes sense. And
Yeah.
we craft a deal together that works perfectly for everyone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just
Seller
to be
financing
aware.
deals only work when they're win-win.
Yeah.
This is not a quick cash, quick close. You feel like you're taking someone's lunch money. Seller
Never.
financings have to be win-win.
Yeah. And you have to know why it might be a win for them. Because
Absolutely.
one of the ones I
Oh,
did most recently, they didn't know. Oh, you mean I can get paid and not have to have a rental and I
yeah.
can
You mean I
defer
have
my
no
capital
tenant headaches?
gains? And
Lower my
yeah, you
taxes?
mean that's possible? Or yeah, like I didn't realize I could do that. Yes, you can. Here's how,
Yeah.
have a
That's
lawyer draw it up. It's fair for everybody,
yeah.
make sure it's done right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just think about that. And then as far as like another thing for like pivoting and that I think is really important, you hit on this before, but don't buy stupid stuff, people.
Gosh, yes.
Tighten up. And I was
Yes.
saying this, a year, 2 years ago, where people are starting to get really flashy with their stuff, especially with
Oh,
social media and YouTube and all these people out there with their
yeah.
really expensive supercars or even just like their Benz. Like a lot of real estate agents think they have to drive a high-end luxury car. You don't.
No.
I'm telling you right now, your clients do not care about that. Make sure it's clean. Make sure you look clean and nice, like you care. But
Mhm.
they really don't need that's just frivolous stuff that is not required. If you can afford it, great, but if you're just feeling like you have to do that as a new agent,
Yeah, if
and
it's
that
the suit, if
yeah.
you like I worked in software and there was a suit you felt like you had to wear. It was $1,000 shoes, $1,000 belts, custom suits, nothing off the rack. Stupid stuff. Stupid stuff.
Yeah, and that goes down to everything in your business. When you're a realtor, everyone's coming at you wanting to get you to buy their thing. And look at what actually returns what's going to be profitable. Profit matters more than anything. And as an agent, I know that I felt tempted for a while to just get bigger, bigger, bigger. Oh, I want to do, there's agents out there doing 400, 500 transactions a year. Like, you know what? I don't want to do 400 or 500 trans. That's not the life I
That's
want to
not the
live.
life I want.
I
Yeah.
want to be lean and mean and profitable and doing it my way. And think about that. Your way might be to do the 400 or 500. And if it is, hey, more or
Go
however many
nuts.
investment deals, you want 1,000 doors, go get 1,000 doors. I don't want 1,000 doors.
No, neither do I.
So yeah, I would say just focus on, don't get caught up on the things that might be more for a person's bragging rights and
Yeah.
focus in on more like what actually matters at the end of the day for your life
Mhm.
and for your family and for your future.
Yes, folks. Again, Beth is now part of our private Facebook group, One Rental at a Time Works. Ask her, tag her, ask her some questions. Beth, thank you so much. Where can people find you?
Thank you. They can find me on my website, bethtraversagroup.com, or on Facebook now in the private Facebook group. And just, yeah, I'm all over the place. Easy to find.
Thank you, Beth.
Thanks.